Hey everyone, welcome back to Sweetbeat TV. I'm your host, Sienna Leone, and I am so excited to say I'm joined by one of the OGs of YouTube, I'd say. MatPat is joining me. Hi, MatPat, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for having me on.
Thanks so much for being here. And like I said off camera, that we've met at the streamys, and I gave you a friendship bracelet. So this is the test. Do you still have the bracelet?
I do actually. It's up in my closet right now, and I have a rotation of friendship bracelets that I wear.
There we go. Okay, where does mine fit in? Fridays, Thursdays? What day is it?
Yours is my Thursday bracelet.
Okay, I like Thursdays because I like that.
Yeah, I will say though, you were very generous with you were generous with my wrist size because it is a little bit tight. And so I appreciate you thinking that I had more delicate, slender wrists than I do. But I do keep it and keep it close to my heart.
You know what? I went off this wrist size, so I apologize for that.
Yeah, I don't have too much masculinity, but I have just slightly more, I would say.
Well, for VidCon, when I catch you there, I'll make it a bit bigger. How about that?
Okay, sounds perfect. That's great.
Now, speaking about VidCon, I'm so excited. It's something I look forward to every summer season. So I know you're excited too. So tell everyone about, you're going to be at VidCon, correct?
Absolutely. I would not miss it, especially with this being my kind of big final year on the main Theory channels. It was one of those events that we didn't want to miss as kind of like a final touch point with the fan base in person. We're going to be doing a live show at VidCon where we're doing it on the community floor. All of Team Theorists is going to be there. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Okay, so, I mean, we're a couple months out from VidCon, but the fact that you have everything planned and lined up, what's the organization and planning that goes into something like VidCon, and for you and your team to be so involved like you say you are this year?
I mean, we are nothing if not overthinkers and overplanners. In a given week, we produce anywhere between like 11 and 13 videos. So, and all of them take far too long. Like, we are our own worst enemy here. And so in order to make sure that our schedules are lining up and that we're able to do things further out on the schedule, we have to just make sure that we're really buttoned up about timings and things like that. And our team is about 22 full-timers and about an additional 20 freelancers. So figuring out who's traveling to LA to attend, who's important to attend, who do we need there, what they're going to be doing. It's actually a pretty large coordination effort, but it's a priority for us because VidCon is such an important touchstone for us every single year. So we try to make sure that we're getting to it as early as possible, so that way we're ready to go come a show start.
Now, VidCon, for those at home that are watching this and may, not know what exactly VidCon is, MatPat, how would you describe it?
Oh my gosh, it is the go-to digital creator event of the year. And it works on multiple levels. If you're just a fan of YouTubers, or TikTok creators or Instagrammers or whatever, this is a great place to just go and engage in that world, meet other fans, see shows and talks that are being put on by those creators. But in addition to that, there's also a business element to it. There's two additional floors, right? There's the creator track, where all of a sudden you are getting pro tips from people who have made it in the industry, who have found their own successes, people who are building teams. So if you're looking to kind of take your YouTube, TikTok digital video game from like 101 to 301, the creator track is a fantastic place to get those resources and make those connections. And then if you really just want to engage with the wider creator ecosystem, there's also the industry track where you're getting more of the deep insights into the business deals that are happening there, some of the upcoming trends in the space. You're able to meet some of the movers and shakers doing broader initiatives. Every year, it's my personal goal, actually, to do an event on all three floors because I feel like that's important. It's a point of pride for me to be able to help, creators, but also help shape the industry and also engage with the audience. And so I think in this one event, you really have the perfect encapsulation of everything that the digital creator ecosystem encompasses.
And, as a fan of VidCon for so many years, it was my favorite part to see these creators come together. And there's so many collabs all you creators get together and all the collabs there throughout the weekend is so much fun for us fans to see. So that being said, has there been any in the past collaborations that you've done where you're like, this is something I've been looking forward to? Or for this year, do you have any collab requests with creators?
Oh, we always call VidCon our Super Bowl, right? Because it is a handful of days where you're starting first thing in the morning and you're ending at like midnight or later. And so some of my favorite memories are hanging out at some of the restaurants across the street from the convention center at like midnight and just kind of like relaxing there, decompressing from everything that had happened in the day and processing and being and feeling really satisfied with how productive it was, how many meetings you had, how much fun you had. So that is just a general sense and a general sense of satisfaction I always have. When it comes to specifically who like collabs that we've done or people that we're excited to do things with, in general, you know, at this point, everyone is so busy off doing their own things. You know, everyone is off doing their own collabs. Try Guys are off eating things at every restaurant and making things without recipes. Sophia, my friend in the style, fashion, beauty space, is off traveling the world, reviewing like hotels over in Las Vegas. And so to actually have the chance to reconnect with these people and sit down and take some time to be like, oh, hey, I haven't seen you in a long time. How are you doing? Yeah. Like, to me, that is the best part of VidCon, is the times that are happening in the hallway, passing between events, or waiting in a green room, and all of a sudden, you know, someone that you've done something with in the past passes by and you're able to catch up with them. I have made some of my longest term connections and some of my longest term friends from meetings that I've had and from just passing conversations I've had starting at VidCon.
Go to VidCon, get lifelong friends.
Exactly. That's exactly right. That's exactly right.
Now, everyone at home, if you guys want to meet MatPat, see everything he's working on, especially this year, like you said, is a very special one for you. You guys want to stay tuned for all the announcements on VidCon. They're rolling more out. You will not want to miss this week. I know I will be there. I mean, I'm so excited driving to Anaheim every year for it. I'm like, this is so fun because like you said, it is Creator Super Bowl. It is complete Creator Super Bowl. So you will not want to miss this one. But MatPat, while I have you on this Zoom, I mean, you made a really, really huge career announcement just a few days ago. March 9th was kind of the goodbye that, you know, 14 years, something you've been working on the past 14 years. So Game Theorists YouTube with 17.7 million subscribers, hundreds of millions of video views every month, okay? And you made the decision that this is all coming to an end. So can you tell us a little bit about this? Because I'm sure this decision wasn't easy. Yeah, no, absolutely. And actually, it's wild to think about because at this point, it's actually 19 million, and across all the channels, it's I think like 40 million because we have game, film, food, and style. So it was a pretty significant transition, but it was one that was, you know, very well thought out and took the place of 3 years. We've been building to this moment for the better part of the last 3 years, where we have been working to hire up staff to kind of support the team. We've been training up the next generation of hosts on the channels to make sure that the scripts look, feel, and flow the same way that we've been doing for years. The topics have that same sense of quirky fun attached to them. That the editors are able to kind of like adopt this next generation and all work together to make sure that the creative product is still what the audience expects, but with a new twist on it, you know, because it's someone's new personality coming through. But it was time. I recognized that I was the single worst bottleneck in our own creative processes, and that, you know, I was fortunate enough to have this platform of 40 million people to speak to. But as I was getting older, I was less able to stay relevant with them, or to, you know, it didn't make sense for me to bogart it all to myself. So instead, being able to uplift a next generation of younger creators who have things to say and have been supporting us in our efforts for this long and give them a chance in the spotlight just made the most sense. I mean, kudos to you for just having that mentality, because when you build something up that big, like you said, 40 million people, to realize and acknowledge, okay, maybe it's time to move on. Maybe it's time to kind of pass the baton down to someone else. That in itself, to acknowledge that is a huge thing. So coming to that realization, bittersweet, I'm sure, but how are you feeling now that that announcement's out? Is it kind of like a whew, or what's that feeling like?
Oh no, it's great. I feel like a burden has been released from my shoulders, and I'm able to kind of approach this next era of my life, serving as a mentor to everyone on our team and helping to kind of guide them through this transition process. It's been wonderful, and I'm approaching it with a newfound like enthusiasm and newfound creativity. It's great. That being said, it was a very prolonged grieving process up to that point, right? And it seems weird to say grieving, but it's accurate, where every step along the way, I was saying goodbye and knowing that this is the final time I'm doing this part of the process, the final time I'm filming shorts, the final time I'm saying these lines, the final time I'm in my VO recording booth. And, you know, it was definitely an emotional process, and it's been over the course of a couple months now of plenty of tears shed, plenty of like, let me reflect on what I'm going through. But it's been nice in this fast-paced digital world that we're always working with, right? Where it's onward to the next video, the next video, the next video, never look back, keep going forward, numbers go up, whatever. It's been really nice to take this time to reflect on the last 13 years of making these videos and how lucky I've been, how much I've grown as a creator, how much our community has grown and evolved over that time, and to make videos that are purely a product for them and a celebration of that time that we had together. And so for as chaotic and stressful and bittersweet as it has been to kind of get to this point, it's also been incredibly rewarding and satisfying to kind of close out my narrative arc as a creator and step away from the platform at such a high note in my personal career, and to be excited to watch as the next generation steps into that, and be curious and excited to see what they produce and to see how they use the resources that we've given them to kind of make it their own.
Absolutely. And I did read it in a recent article you did, how you weren't sleeping. Many hours of sleep were lost. So the fact
Yes.
that, you know what, now I hope you feel secure and confident of passing the baton on and getting a few more hours of rest these days.
No, the realization that I no longer have to carry my recording equipment with me on every vacation that we do has been incredible. For the last 10 years, I have always packed my microphone, my pop filter, and my H6, which is the little device that captures the audio, right? I have to carve off my little spot for it in my travel suitcase because it's always there, and 50% of the time it's getting flagged by TSA because it's a suspicious metal object shaped like a canister. And I'm like, no, it's a microphone, it's okay, trust me. To the extent that the TSA guys in the local airport know me at this point, I'm like, it's me again, sorry. Yeah, we're all good. So it'll be nice to go through TSA and be like, hey, don't have to worry about that microphone today, boys, we're all good. To know that there won't be a last minute pickup, and that there won't be an emergency email that has to be addressed because the video won't go up without it. That is part of that just like mental space that is opening up, and it's so satisfying and so exciting. I'm not quite there yet because again, it's this slow unraveling process of all the parts that I've been intrinsic to for so long, but we're getting there, and every day is a step in that direction, and it allows me the opportunity to look forward to events like VidCon in a way that I haven't before. It was just like rush to VidCon, tunnel vision, we're go. But now it's like, oh, there's time to creatively plan. There's time to think about it. There's time to, ideate on things and refine them to make them as good as possible, and not just, oh, that's another check mark on the to-do list.
Completely. And this is a big congratulations to you and your team, because
Thank you.
It's a very big milestone for you and a chapter. It's Yeah, it's just all good things coming. Good things come to an end as well, and this is just opening more doors. So congratulations to you. And my last question here is, I mean, I have to ask one of the best to do it in the YouTube space, but advice to YouTubers, advice to someone, a little girl or a little boy watching this, what would you tell them?
Of course. Well, first I wanted to thank you for calling out the team, because I think for as much as I'm, the face and host and scriptwriter of a lot of this stuff, none of this would have been possible without our team. And as much as this is a transition for me and I'm going through it a lot, Stephanie, who's been there since the very beginning, she's also kind of going through this transition. Jason, who's been there since the very beginning, has been going through this transition. And the team as a whole has been so wonderful and supportive to make sure that these final videos of mine were putting a close on my arc and my legacy in a way that we were all very proud of, and making sure that the next generation has the best start possible as they start their journey. So thank you for acknowledging that the team also existed, because I think they, in the YouTube space in general, we can never celebrate the teams enough. So they're awesome, and I owe so much to them. As far as when it comes to new YouTubers, or kind of like that next generation creator, the next boy or girl who wants to hop on the platform, I think I encourage everyone, and parents, if they're kind of hearing that their kid wants to become a YouTuber or whatever, I encourage them to give them the chance, right? Absolutely put that phone in their hand, let them record themselves, let them script out something, edit something, because even if they don't become a top creator, or even if, numbers don't go up or anything like that, right? I think there's a very distinct difference between being a creator and being a successful creator. I think everyone can and probably should be a creator, because the skills that you learn travel with you in every industry that you could possibly imagine, right? If you're how to speak confidently on camera, how to write a coherent script, how to put something into a video editor and communicate an idea to an audience, even stuff like working on titles and thumbnails and imagery, all of that, yes, it is important for success on YouTube, but also translates into the marketing world, into the advertising space, into graphic design. I have learned so much every single week for the last 13 years of being an entrepreneur, being a marketer, being a talent, being a host, being a writer, being an editor, that I am so grateful for all those skills I picked up, and they translate into every other part of the modern ecosystem. So if you have a desire to create, if you have a hope of becoming a YouTuber, go for it, try your hand. If you have something exciting to say or something that you're not seeing out there, all the power to you. But also don't be discouraged if the number doesn't go up, or if that doesn't become your full-time job, because the skills that you're learning in the moment are the things that are going to pave the way for that highly successful career in an adjacent field, or who knows, at a YouTube studio like ours, where we are production companies with growing teams, and Mr. Beast has 100+ people in his staff. Mythical has 100+ people in staff. I mentioned how we have about 50. Like, it's one of those things where this industry is only getting bigger and needing more talented individuals, and that could very well be you.
So beautifully said. And go to events like VidCon.
Yes, absolutely, 100%. It's great. I can tell you, no less than 3 of our current full-time hires are from VidCon, the people that I met through events like VidCon. One is our audio editor, Yossi, who has been suffering through my voice for the better part of 9 years, editing it together to do the cut down of my VO for our episodes. And I met him randomly at a panel after an event at VidCon, and he approached me and said, "Hey, I am looking for a job in this industry. I can do a lot of different things. Here's my card." And I hit him up a couple months later, and I'm like, "Hey, I thought I have a need for you. I want to try you out." And lo and behold, here we are nine years later, and he's still an awesome member of our team who is more important now than ever.
That's incredible. Guys at home, if that doesn't make you go and run and get your VidCon tickets, I don't know what will. But MatPat, we here at Sweetie High, we love your content. We think you're incredible. Major congratulations again to you and your team on everything you guys have achieved. And I can't wait to see what's next for you.
Great. Well, thank you. And it was good seeing you again. Hopefully I'll see you at VidCon, and then maybe later this year at the streamys again.
We will definitely see you at both, and I will be bringing a bigger bracelet. I'll combine both sizes.
That might be slightly too big, like maybe somewhere in the middle.
Okay, somewhere in the middle. Noted.
Somewhere in the middle. Yeah.
Thank you.
I don't have that big of a wrist. Yeah. Thank you so much.
And everyone else, if you guys like this video, make sure to be giving it a big thumbs up and subscribing to us down below. MatPat, thanks for your time this morning. We'll see you soon.